Kṛṣṇa
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Hare Nama Kṛṣṇa
Hare
All Father Govinda Ram
Sri Madhusudharan
Mukha Karoti Vasalam
Langam Langayate Girim
Yati Satavan Mande
Sri Gurun Dinatarinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Sri Chaitanya
Hare
Ishwaram
Sat Sat. We're having the
So today we are having this continuing the compilation of Chaitanya book. Chapter entitled The Gopis are amazed by the good fortune of the flute of Kṛṣṇa. Under the section Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa.
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 16.134
প্রভুর উৎকণ্ঠা কহিতে কহিতে প্রভুর মন ফিরি গেল ক্রোধ মন শান্ত হইল উৎকণ্ঠা বাড়িল
While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking like this, his mind changed. His anger subsided, but his mental agitation increased.
Lord Chaitanya, in the mood of Radha and the Gopis,
Lord Chaitanya, in the mood of Radha and the Gopis,
his love for Kṛṣṇa went through various changes. His ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa went through changes.
his ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa changes.
So, one minute he was angry, next minute he's something else.
1 minute he is angry, next minute he is something else.
The ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya constantly changed.
The ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya constantly changed. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 16.135
প্রভু কর্তৃক কৃষ্ণ অধরামৃতের পরম মহিমা কীর্তন পরম দুর্লভ এই কৃষ্ণ ধারামৃত তাহা যেই পাই তার সফল জীবিত
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "This nectar from Krishna's lips is supremely difficult to obtain, but if one gets some, his life becomes successful."
I'm combining the books on Chaitanya Lila.
Combining different books on Chaitanya Lila.
Now we're at the end.
Now we are at the end.
And here, Lord Chaitanya is trying to understand the love of Radha and his devotees for him.
And here Lord Chaitanya is trying to understand the love of Radha and his devotees for him.
That's Kṛṣṇa. He was when they told him that he knew everything but one thing.
As Kṛṣṇa, they told him he knew everything but one thing.
He didn't know how much his devotees loved him.
He didn't know how much the devotees loved him.
And in what way they loved him.
And in what way they loved him.
But Radha and Rukmini knew.
But Radha and Rukmini knew.
So, in order to experiment and realize how Lord Chaitanya came, Kṛṣṇa came as as a devotee of Lord Chaitanya.
So in order to experiment and realize, Lord Krishna came as a devotee, as Lord Chaitanya.
So in one of the devotees and Radha, he is glorifying the lips of Lord Krishna.
So in the mood of devotees and Radha, Lord Chaitanya is glorifying the mood of the devotees.
Because the nectar of Krishna's lips by eating prasadam.
You can taste the nectar of Krishna's lips by eating prasadam.
Or by kissing him.
Or by kissing him.
And that are the 5 rasas, those in Madhurya rasa, how they want this nectar of Krishna lips in a conjugal way.
Of the 5 rasas, Madhurya ras, they want the love of Krishna in a conjugal way.
The rest take the nectar of Krishna's lips as prasadam.
The rest take the nectar of Krishna's lips as prasadam. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.136.
যোগ্য হইয়া কেহ করিতে না পাই পান তথাপি সে নির্লজ্জ বৃথা ধরে প্রাণ.
When a person competent to drink that nectar does not do so, that shameless person continues his life uselessly.
What is the use of living if you don't have Krishna Prasad?
What is the use of living if you don't have Krishna Prasad?
How many here like Krishna Prasad?
How many here like Krishna Prasad? Next one. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.137.
অযোগ্য হইয়া তাহা কেহ সদা পান করে যোগ্য জন নাহি পায় লোভে মাত্র মরে.
There are persons who are unfit to drink that nectar, but who nevertheless drink it continuously, whereas some who are suitable never get it and thus die of greed.
In the opinion of the Gopīs, that flute is just wood.
In the opinion of the Gopīs, the flute is just wood.
But the flute is always tasting the nectar of Lord Krishna's lips.
But the flute is always tasting the nectar of Krishna's lips.
So they think he's unfit.
So they think he's unfit.
The flute.
The flute.
The Gopīs who are fit, they're not giving a chance.
The Gopīs?
The Gopīs are fit,
Oh.
but they're not given a chance.
The Gopīs are fit, but they are not giving the chance.
Given the chance.
Given the chance.
And they die thus in separation.
So they die in separation. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.138.
তাতে জানি কোন তপস্যার আছে বল অযোগ্যের দেওয়ায় কৃষ্ণ ধারামৃত ফল.
It is therefore to be understood that such an unfit person must have obtained the nectar of Krishna's lips on the strength of some austerity.
They're glorifying the nectar of Lord Krishna's transcendental lips.
So the Gopis are glorifying the nectar of Lord Krishna's transcendental lips.
And giving the taste of nectar of Krishna's lips is certainly they've done some austerity or something that earned it.
And to taste the nectar of Krishna's lips, you must have done some austerity.
Otherwise, they're not qualified.
Otherwise, they are not qualified.
Oh,
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 16.139.
প্রভুর আদেশে রায়ের শ্লোক পঠন। কহ রাম রায় কিছু শুনিতে হয় মন, ভাব জানি পড়ে রায় গোপীর বচন।
Again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Ramananda Raya, "Please say something. I want to hear." Understanding the situation, Ramananda Raya recited the following words of the Gopis.
around on the ride would quote appropriate slokas.
Ramananda Raya would quote appropriate shlokas.
Sometimes Sridhar Goswami would sing appropriate songs.
And sometimes Sarup Damodar Goswami would sing appropriate songs.
And this they would help Lord Chaitanya experience deeper ecstasies.
And in this way, they would help Lord Chaitanya experience deeper and deeper ecstasies. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 16.140.
গোপীগণের কৃষ্ণধরম অধর স্পর্শ সুখী বেণুর প্রশংসা শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে দশম স্কন্ধে 21 নম্বর অধ্যায়ের 9 নম্বর শ্লোক।
My dear Gopis, what auspicious activities must the flute have performed to enjoy the nectar of Krishna's lips independently, and leave only a taste for us Gopis, for whom that nectar is actually meant. The forefathers of the flute, the bamboo trees, shed tears of pleasure. His mother, the river on whose bank the bamboo was born, feels jubilation, and therefore her blooming lotus flowers are standing like hair on her body. Purport. This verse, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.21.9, is part of a discussion the Gopis had among themselves. As the autumn season began in Vrindavan, Lord Kṛṣṇa was tending the cows and blowing on his flute. The Gopis then began to praise Kṛṣṇa and discuss the fortunate position of his flute.
All these are completely focused on Krishna.
The Gopis were completely focused on Kṛṣṇa.
They're always thinking about Krishna.
They are always thinking about Kṛṣṇa,
talking about Krishna, and they were desiring to please Krishna.
And they were desiring to please Kṛṣṇa.
And they were worried if he walked barefoot on the stony path.
And they were worried if he walked barefoot on the stony path.
I mean, know that they're always thinking about Krishna.
They are, one way or the other, they were always thinking of Kṛṣṇa.
And they were thinking how the bamboo was very fortunate.
They were thinking how the bamboo was very fortunate.
And it's interesting that they're praising mother and father of the bamboo.
And it's interesting that they were praising the mother and father of the bamboo.
Saying the father is the bamboo stick.
They were saying that the father is the bamboo stick.
And that the mother is the Yamuna River.
And the mother is the Yamuna River.
And she's so happy that the lotus flowers on her body are standing up like hairs standing up in ecstasy.
She said she's so happy that the lotus flowers are standing up on her body, just like hairs standing up in ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 16.141.
প্রভুর ভাবাবেশে প্রলাপ ব্যাখ্যা। এই শ্লোক শুনি প্রভু ভাবাবিষ্ট হইয়া উৎকণ্ঠাতে অর্থ করে প্রলাপ করিয়া।
Upon hearing the recitation of this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became absorbed in ecstatic love, and with a greatly agitated mind, he began to explain its meaning like a madman.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would fall into different types of ecstatic love for Krishna.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would fall into different types of deep ecstatic love for Krishna.
And he would manifest different ecstatic symptoms.
And he would manifest different ecstatic symptoms.
And it's really no words to accurately describe what Lord Chaitanya was feeling.
And there's really no words to accurately describe what Lord Chaitanya was feeling.
And it says words like he was explaining like a madman.
They said he was explaining like a madman.
So people, they aspire to have some intoxication to temporarily become mad.
People, they aspire to temporarily take some intoxication in order to become mad.
And that way they can feel somewhat happy.
And in that way, they can feel somewhat happy.
But then they get sick. Anyway, the intoxication wears out.
But they get sick. The intoxication eventually wears off.
Here, what Chaitanya is showing is by loving Krishna, one can naturally become filled with ecstatic love.
But here, Lord Chaitanya is showing that by having love for Krishna, one can be filled with ecstatic love.
And he's not taking any intoxication.
Without taking any intoxication.
But he almost speaking like a madman.
That he was almost speaking like a madman.
So, when he was in Navadvip, he started to act ecstatically.
So when he was in Navadvip, he started to act ecstatically.
And some of the neighbors of Sachi, and you have to do something about your son, he's sick.
And so the neighbors of Sachi said, you have to do something about your son, he's sick.
And one neighbor said, yeah, you should feed him tender coconut water, cool him down.
And so one lady said, you must feed him tender coconut water and cool him down.
The other one said, no, that's not strong enough.
The other one said, no, that's not strong enough.
Only if you had tender coconut dab.
How many of you had tender coconut dab?
It's a very pleasant drink.
It's a very pleasant drink.
It makes you cool, but if you really have some serious mental illness, it's not that strong.
It may cool you down, but if you have some serious mental ailment, it's not that strong.
One person said, your son is very far gone.
Your son is very far gone.
You have to massage on his head some special oil from 10 roots.
You have to massage on his head some special oil made from 10 roots.
Dashamudra Tela.
Dasamul Taila.
Dashamul Taila.
Dashamul Taila.
Rub that in his head, that will cool him down.
If you rub that on his head, it will cool him down.
No, the other neighbor said, it's not, he's very far gone.
No, he's very far gone.
I mean, he lays on the ground, he ties him up.
I mean, he rolls on the ground and tie him up.
Yeah. And Mother Sachi said, nothing is wrong, my son.
Mother Sachi said, nothing's wrong with my son.
One time, Satyananda, Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Gauranga, he asked Siddhas, can I ask you a question?
One time, Satyananda, Lord Gauranga, asked Srivas, can I ask you a question?
Sure, what is that?
Sure, what is that?
Do I have a disease?
Do I have a disease?
What's your symptom?
What's your symptom?
Whenever I hear the name of Kṛṣṇa, tears come to my eyes, my hair stands on end.
Whenever I hear the name of Kṛṣṇa, tears come from my eyes and my hair stands on end.
Sometimes I laugh uncontrollably.
Sometimes I laugh uncontrollably.
Sometimes my hair stands on end.
Sometimes my hair stands on end.
Sometimes my voice gets choked up.
Sometimes my voice gets choked up.
Sometimes I faint.
Sometimes I faint.
This happens whenever I hear the name of Kṛṣṇa.
It happens whenever I hear the name of Kṛṣṇa.
Srivas said, yes, you have a disease.
So Srivas said, yes, you have a disease.
And I want that disease also. You have the disease of Kṛṣṇa Prema.
You have the disease of Kṛṣṇa Prema.
Haribo!
Haribo!
What do you think?
What do you think?
What's the question?
Maharaj is asking, what do you think? The disease of Kṛṣṇa Prema. Can I answer?
You think they should want Kṛṣṇa Prema?
You think they should want Kṛṣṇa Prema?
I'm sorry.
I don't know, gosh. He's the president. He's the life of Mayapur.
He's the life of Mayapur.
Mayapur Vasis are very angry that he left.
Mayapur Basis are very angry that he left.
But he's so dedicated to see the TLDP finished that they agreed to go.
He's so dedicated to see the TUVP finished, he still came.
So, but please, I give to the TLDP and let him go back to Mayapur.
Would you please give to the TUVP and let him go back to Mayapur? Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.142.
শ্লোকার্থ বেনুর কৃষ্ণধারামৃত পান সৌভাগ্য দর্শনে গোপীগণের ঈর্ষা অথচ শ্রুতি বাক্য চিত্রজল্প অহো ব্রজেন্দ্র নন্দন ব্রজের কোন কন্যাগণ অবশ্য করিব পরিণয় সে সম্বন্ধে গোপীগণ যারে মানে নিজ ধন সে সুধা অন্যেরও লাভ নয়।
Some gopis said to other gopis, Just see the astonishing pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, the son of Rajendra. He will certainly marry all the gopis of Vrindavan. Therefore, the gopis know for certain that the nectar of Kṛṣṇa's lips is their own property and cannot be enjoyed by anyone else.
Gopis had done Katyayana Puja,
The gopis had done Katyayani Puja,
which is a special worship to get the husband of your choice.
which is a special worship to get a husband of your choice.
And they all desired Kṛṣṇa as their husband.
And they all desired Kṛṣṇa as their husband.
So he knew that.
So he knew that.
He's a super soul.
He's the super soul.
So that's why he wanted to please all the gopis.
So that's why he wanted to please all the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.143.
গোপীগণ কহ সব করিয়া বিচারে, কোন তীর্থ কোন তপ কোন সিদ্ধ মন্ত্র জপ, এই বেনু কইল জন্মান্তরে।
My dear gopis, fully consider how many pious activities this flute performed in his past life. We do not know what places of pilgrimage he visited, what austerities he performed, or what perfect mantra he chanted.
So gopis were thinking in this way,
So the gopis were thinking in this way,
how the flute was so fortunate.
how the flute was so fortunate,
They wanted that fortune to themselves.
and they wanted that fortune for themselves.
They would do the things that are afflicted if they could get their desired Kṛṣṇa.
That's the first part. Sorry, can you repeat that? First
They would do the things
They
that the flute did.
Oh, they would do things that the flute did
To get Kṛṣṇa.
to get Kṛṣṇa. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.144.
হেন কৃষ্ণ ধর সুধা, যে কইল অমৃত মুদ্রা, যার আশায় গোপী ধরে প্রাণ, এই বেনু অযোগ্য অতি স্থাবর পুরুষ জাতি, সেই সুধা সদা করে পান।
This flute is utterly unfit because it is merely a dead bamboo stick. Moreover, it belongs to the male sex. Yet, this flute is always drinking the nectar of Kṛṣṇa's lips, which surpasses nectarian sweetness of every description. Only by hoping for that nectar do the gopis continue to live.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Bengal devotees go back to Bengal.
When the Bengal devotees go back to Bengal,
And Lord Chaitanya gets back to realizing the ecstasies of Radha and the Gopis.
then Lord Chaitanya goes back to realizing the ecstasies of Radha and the gopis.
I say this, Madhurya Rasa activities were kept very secret, very confidential.
Seeing these Madhurya Rasa activities were kept very secret, very confidential.
Lord Chaitanya, he made them available
Lord Chaitanya, he made them available.
He discussed, he enacted,
He discussed and enacted,
and thus, by his mercy, all the rasas were understood.
and thus by his mercy all the rasas were understood.
The Gujarat Pushtimagis, they know also parental rasa.
The Gujarat Pushti Margis, they worship the Lord in the parental rasa.
And Sri Sampradaya,
In Sri Sampradaya,
they worship the Lord in awe and reverence.
they worship the Lord in awe and reverence.
So they realize the Lord in Vaikuntha
So they realize the Lord in Vaikuntha
and Narayana.
as Narayana.
Actually, to realize Krishna in the Lord Vrindavan,
But actually, to realize Lord Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan,
Lord Chaitanya, he revealed those confidential aspects.
Lord Chaitanya, he revealed those confidential aspects. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.145.
যার ধন না কহে তারে পান করে বালৎকারে পিতা পিতে তারে ডাকিয়া জানায় তার তপস্যার ফল দেখো ইহার ভাগ্যবল ইহার উচ্ছিষ্ট মহাজনে খায়.
Although the nectar of Krishna's lips is the absolute property of the Gopis, the flute, which is just an insignificant stick, is forcibly drinking that nectar and loudly inviting the Gopis to come drink it also. Just imagine the strength of the flute's austerities and good fortune. Even great devotees drink the nectar of Krishna's lips after the flute has done so.
Some previous slokas,
Some previous shlokas,
it was mentioned how by Krishna, by tasting food,
it is mentioned by how tasting Krishna food,
and that ordinary food became spiritually alive, spiritually imbibed.
how ordinary food became spiritually enlivened by Krishna.
And that by taking that prasadam, one could have a taste, a smell, which is incomparable.
And by taking that prasadam, one can have a taste, a smell that's incomparable.
So, various ways are glorifying Krishna's lips.
So in various ways, they are glorifying Krishna's lips. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.146.
মানস গঙ্গা কালিন্দী ভুবন পাবনী নদী কৃষ্ণ যদি তাতে করে স্নান বেনুর ঝুটাধর রস ইহা লোভে পরবশ সেই কালে হর্ষে করে পান.
When Krishna takes his bath in universally purifying rivers like the Yamuna and the Ganges of the celestial world, the great personality of those rivers greedily and jubilantly drink the remnants of the nectarian juice from his lips.
So the rivers that Krishna bathes in
So the rivers that Kṛṣṇa bathes in
are especially purified.
are especially purifying.
And those rivers are very ecstatic to have Krishna bathing in them.
Those rivers are very ecstatic having Kṛṣṇa bathing in them.
There was a Brahmin, he was chanting his Gayatri mantra.
There was a Brahmin.
Ganges.
There was a Brahmin. He was chanting his Gayatri mantras in the Ganges.
We found the water right up, down, up, down.
He found the water was rising up, down, up, down.
What's going on?
He said, "What's going on?"
He looked to his left.
He looked to his left.
He saw a young Brahmin boy, Nimai,
He saw a young Brahmin boy, Nimai,
walk close to the river, and walk a little bit out of the river,
walk close to the river and a little away from the river,
and the river would rise up, try to touch his lotus feet.
and the river would rise up and try and touch his lotus feet.
Then he'd go down. So like this, the river was rising up and down.
So in this way, the river was rising up and down.
And he went further than the river could go.
So the further he went, the further the river would go.
Further he went, further than the river could go.
So the further he went,
He went further than the river could go.
he went further, the river would go.
Thank you. And then the personified Ganga Devi, she came out of the water
So the personified Ganga Devi, she came out of the water
and offered her obeisances
and offered her obeisances
to Lord Chaitanya.
to Lord Chaitanya.
And then the Brahman, he was a great devotee of the Ganga.
The Brahmin, he was a great devotee of the Ganga.
And he was seeing the Ganges personified coming out of the river.
And he was seeing the Ganges personified coming out of the river.
And then he got out himself.
And then he got out himself.
He overheard Ganga Devi offering her pranam to Lord Gauranga.
He overheard Ganga Devi offering her pranams to Gauranga.
And then the Ganges went back into the water and disappeared.
And then the Ganges went back into the water and disappeared.
Now he realized that the Ganges would only offer obeisances to Krishna.
And he realized that the Ganges would only offer obeisances to Kṛṣṇa.
They asked Gauranga, who are you?
So he asked Gauranga, "Who are you?"
I'll tell you, but you cannot tell anyone else
"I'll tell you, but you cannot tell anyone else
as long as I'm on this planet.
as long as I am on this planet.
And if you tell, then I'll have to remove you."
And if you tell, I'll have to remove you."
Then he revealed that he was Radha Krishna combined.
And that he revealed that he was Radha and Kṛṣṇa combined. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 16.147.
এত নারী রহু দূরে বৃক্ষ সব তার তীরে তপ করে পর উপকারী নদীর শেষ রস পাইয়া মূল দ্বারে আকর্ষিয়া কেনে পিয়ে বুঝতে না পারি
Aside from the rivers, the trees standing on the banks like great ascetics and engaging in welfare activities for all living entities drink the nectar of Krishna's lips by drawing water from the river with their roots. We cannot understand why they drink like that.
So the Lord Chaitanya, he's constantly meditating on Lord Krishna.
So the Gopis and Lord Chaitanya, they are constantly meditating on Lord Krishna.
So somehow or another, seeing how the trees are drinking the nectar from Krishna's lips,
Seeing how
from their roots.
seeing how the trees are drinking the nectar from Krishna's lips from the roots.
Only 4 more verses. Only 4 more verses.
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.148.
নিজ ধুরে পুলকিত পুষ্পহাস্য বিকশিত মধু মিশে বহে অশ্রুধার বেনুরে মানি নিজ জাতি আর জোরে যেন পুত্র নাতি বৈষ্ণব হলে আনন্দ বিকার
The trees on the bank of the Yamuna and Ganges are always jubilant. They appear to be smiling with their flowers and shedding tears in the form of flowing honey. Just as the forefathers of a Vaishnava son or grandson feel transcendental bliss, the trees feel blissful because the flute is a member of their family.
Lord Gauranga is glorifying
Lord Gauranga is glorifying
the flute.
the flute.
That means they're glorifying Lord Krishna.
It means that he is glorifying Lord Krishna.
To the trees that are growing on the side of the Yamuna.
The trees that are growing on the side of the Yamuna. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.149.
বেনুর তপ জানি যবে সেই তপ করি তবে এ অযোগ্য আমরা যোগ্য নারী জানা পাইয়া দুঃখে মরি অযোগ্য পিয়ে সইতে নারী তাহা লাগে তপস্যা বিচারি
The Gopis considered the flute is completely unfit for his position. We want to know what kind of austerities the flute executed, so that we may also perform the same austerities. Although the flute is unfit, he is drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips. Seeing this, we qualified Gopis are dying of unhappiness. Qualified Gopis, thank you. We qualified Gopis are dying of unhappiness. Therefore, we must consider the austerities the flute underwent in his past life.
So, they're thinking that flute had done all this austerity to get this position.
So they are thinking that the flute did all this austerity to get this position.
They want to know what austerity they can do the same thing.
And they want to know what austerity so they can do the same thing.
To get Krishna's association.
To get Krishna's association.
Like the flute does.
Like the flute does. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.150.
প্রভুর গোপী ভাবে কৃষ্ণ প্রেমোন্মাদ এতক বিলাপ করি প্রেমাবেশে গৌরহরি সঙ্গে লইয়া স্বরূপ রামারয় কভু নাচে কভু গায় ভাবাবেশে মূর্ছ যায় এই রূপে রাত্রি দিন যায়
While thus speaking like a madman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became full of ecstatic emotion. In the company of his two friends, Svarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Raya, he sometimes danced, sometimes sang, and sometimes became unconscious in ecstatic love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed his days and nights in this way.
So all the Bengali devotees were in Jagatpuri. He sometimes maintained his external consciousness.
Somehow the Bengali devotees were in Jagannath Puri, and he maintained his external consciousness.
And engaged in Sankirtan with them.
He engaged in Sankirtan with them.
When they left, then he went back and did this.
When they left,
Himself and ecstatic love.
when he went back, he absorbed himself in ecstatic love.
And talking like a man.
And he was chanting like a madman, talking like a madman. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 16.151.
স্বরূপ রূপ সনাতন রঘুনাথের শ্রীচরণ শিরে ধরি করি যারো আস চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত অমৃত হইতে পরমামৃত গাই দীনহীন কৃষ্ণ দাস.
Expecting the mercy of Svarupa, Rupa, Sanatana, and Raghunath Das, and taking their lotus feet on my head, I, the most fallen Krishna Das, continue chanting the epic Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is sweeter than the nectar of transcendental bliss. Thus ends the chapter entitled, The Gopis are amazed by the good fortune of the flute of Kṛṣṇa, under the section, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa.
So, actually, I can do temple one day. I see many people are gathering around Radha Rasihari, because Saka, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman. Not so many people are going to time.
I see that in Juhu Temple in Mumbai, Radha Rasa Bihari, they are gathering around Sitaram Lakshman, Radha Rasa Bihari.
Many people are gathering around Radha Rasa Bihari.
I said that. Anyway, the devotees are gathering around Radha Rasa Bihari, Sitaram Lakshman, and not many around Gaurnitai.
Actually, it's only like Lord that has mercy that are able to give the mercy of.
Actually, only by Gaurnitai's mercy are we able to get the mercy of Radha and Krishna.
That's why Lord Chaitanya came down, especially to give his mercy to people all over the world.
So that's why Lord Chaitanya came down, to give this mercy to all the people all over the world.
He told Lord Chaitanya that you can go back to Bengal and preach, because he promised to deliver all kinds of people.
He told Lord Nityananda that you can go back to Bengal because he will preach and deliver 4 types of people.
The foolish, the lowborn, the fallen, and the distressed.
the foolish, the lowborn, the fallen, and the distressed.
I mean, foolish includes those who think they're the body.
Foolish are those that think they are the body.
I don't know that. Well, like Prabhupada, he said that Bombay was his office, Vrindavan his home, and Mayapur was his place of worship.
Prabhupada said that Bombay was his office, Vrindavan his home, and Mayapur his place of worship.
And he said, where he can worship Lord Gauranga.
And he said, we can worship Lord Gauranga.
So we're trying to build a TOVP, Temple of the Vedic Planetarium,
So we are trying to build the TOVP, the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium,
of which there's a west wing, which is the museum of the Vedic Planetarium.
of which there's the West Wing, which is the Museum of the Vedic Planetarium.
So at the end of my Diksha shelter, I started our Shiksha disciple donates to the TOVP. 50% goes to the museum of the Planetarium.
So if you are my Diksha, Siksha, shelter, or aspiring disciple, 50% of your donation goes to the MOVP.
So we're very grateful for Johnny Ross and Roger Ross
So we are very grateful for Jananivas and Brajavilas
for all the donors
and to all the donors
for making this temple possible.
for making this temple possible.
Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj.
So what do you all wants to give you a message?
Tomorrow morning, Guru Maharaj is giving class at 7 sharp. So please, all of you come and bring your friends, family, everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. I'm just going to make this very short because Maharaj has to leave also. Maharaj was talking about the disease, right? So Maharaj was talking about the disease of Krishna Bhakti. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada says. Srila Prabhupada said, my only disease is that I cannot think small. Big, big and very big. And that is why we have the temple of Vedic Planetarium, very big, the largest Vedic temple in the world. And His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he is holding his life to see the temple completed. You can see in this health condition, he is giving you all Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Jananivas Prabhu, as he said, that nobody wants him to go outside of Mayapur, and Maharaj is saying, please send him back by donating. So my only request to you at 10:11:59 p.m. today, if you have not donated for the TOVP, take a pledge. You have 3 years time to please Guru Maharaj. I told Guru Maharaj, without the MOVP, we are not opening the TOVP. Maharaj is working very hard to complete the MOVP, the Museum of Vedic Planetarium. So, how many of you have not taken a pledge still? So, okay. How many of you have pledged? This is 100%. I don't have to speak, I think. That is why I asked how many of you didn't take a pledge. There's too many hands here. So give the pledge forms here. Our volunteers can give the pledge forms. Yeah. Maharaj has to go, please. We have medallions, we have awards, when we have trophies. Medallions start from 5,000, 3,000 and 2,000 gold medallion. And what is that, Maharaj? Yeah. Maharaj is saying that he got 2 gold medallions in our booth. Now he wants at least 5 gold medallions. So anybody only 5,000, 3 years, $150 per month. $150 you spend in gas, right? You drive a car. You want to drive safely, then you have to give to Lord Nrsingadev. Right? You can put the gas for $150, but the destination is not really, no guarantee on the destination. But if you give $150 every month to the TOVP, your destination is guaranteed. So let's fill in the forms, and I'm going to tell Maharaj who and all has done on today's program. Give the pledge cards. Prabhu, Brajpati Prabhu. Jai. Jai. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ke. Others can sit and do the pledge. Maharaj's desire should be fulfilled. Can you just make the pledge? Give the pledge card alone. Why we have to bring this? Who has not? Those who have wanted to give the pledges, please come and give the pledges. 5 gold medallions we wanted to take. $5,000, $150 a month. Very easy. 3 years you can finish the pledge. Tell somebody to give. Tell your friends. Third time you are going to do?